to the basic in-lesson warm-up drills. The basic thrusting drill with this quality checking, right, and how to apply it. We explored the movement of bracing. That helps the coach to secure the thrust in place. Also helps because by bracing you also prevent being, forcefully bent backwards, which is not always good for the spine. So this bracing is also important for your self-care. By yielding, after a split second of bracing, when you yield, you will see whether the student is leaning on you or not in their attacks, right? So whether they remain balanced after their attack or not. Then we moved on to cutting and explored this quality check by imperfect parry with in the cutting drill. And then we move to the core drills of the lesson. One was designed to activate the ability of the student to launch an untelegraphed direct attack. Right? You remember this was this primitive drill. Then we explored a crucial skill for any fencer, be it offensive or defensive, but probably a little bit more for offensive fencer. That is the ability to close the gap and enter the killing zone from which they can attack, even if the opponent starts retreating, right? But as you saw, it's very unwise to attack at an opponent who is retreating orderly and in time, right? Because this is perfect from their standpoint to counteracting your attack, right? So you don't want to get there. Then we moved to some exercises. One exercise dedicated to inhibitory motor control, and we also saw how this inhibitory motor control can be drilled in the extended version of this gap closing exercise, right? When sometimes the coach would present a threat to force the student to back off, yeah, and abandon their offensive intentions. And at the end, we explored exercises that could be used as a cool down because they are mentally much easier, but they drill endurance technique, the ability to continue fighting. So they are actually shaping something that's in some fencing terminological frameworks, it's called continuity of action. That is the ability of the fencer to do something that they planned, achieve success, or they think they achieve success, but carry on fighting regardless. We'll have a look at this tomorrow as well. And basically this is a very important skill because it often happens, probably you know it from your own experience, and sometimes you hit and you think, okay, I got him. And then you look at the judges, nothing happens, and then you receive an overhand to the head because you got distracted, right? So this is an example of broken continuity of action, right? Preserved continuity of action helps in this situation because you remain focused as long as the fight is actually going on. And only after you are able to separate from the opponent, or they separate from you, or the judges stop the fight, this is when you finally break the continuity because it's safe, right? Okay, so do you have any questions? No. Okay.
So if you had like a 2-hour class once a week, how much time would you spend on that warm-up? You only had one class.
That warm-up once a week.
Yes.
Yeah. It's rather free.
Yes.
Once a week. Okay, but
we've wanted to do multiple classes a week for the longest time, but financially it's just not happening. So we have
sure. Yeah, but what's the purpose of the club? Are we going to create competitors or something else?
Very competitors.
Right. So 45 minutes.
45 minutes of long.
Because this is much more important than all the technical stuff. With the weapon, all the fancy tricks. You need this, you need basic thrust, and you're good to go. for competition.
Okay.
Maybe not the top of it.
Yeah.
Is that what they mean by displacement?
Flight is pretty good. Yeah. Landing a good flight feels pretty good.
On the giving end. Yeah, but actually, if it's pretty, then it's nice to watch movement this weekend. Right. Anyone? how time allows, I will always try to respond.
What's your preferred method of contact? Facebook or something else?
Yeah, I've got Facebook, I've got an email, Eric has my email, I don't know about that. I can share it, no worries. Yeah, probably that's it. I don't have Discord on Facebook, sorry. Took me long enough to know. Get used to Facebook, and now it's already dying. I have got mental resources to master another social media.
Discord will be great.
Right.
Don't.
Specifically human Discord.
Actually, yeah, don't move.